Hey, this is Jerry with Paul's Photo and the Creative Photo Academy, and today we're going to be talking about how to not F up your film. Film cameras are becoming real popular. Analog photography is being used by everybody now. We're starting to see a lot of first-time users messing up their films in a lot of different ways. New creative ways I haven't even seen before. How they're not loading the camera properly, so we're getting blank rolls coming back from the lab because they didn't load their film proper. Okay, so the first thing you want to do is check to make sure you ain't got any film in your camera. One thing you can do there is just use your rewind knob and just roll it back. If it doesn't spring back or anything like that, chances are it's probably empty. Go ahead and open the back of your camera. Take your leader, and I like to load the leader side first and then pull the cassette over into the chamber. To me, it just seems easier to get it threaded just like that. I'm already threaded and I'm already in the sprocket holes. I already know I'm good. Drop the film can in, drop your rewind knob back, and gently rewind it back just a little bit, just to take up any slack. And then from there, close your back and advance your film 3 frames. 1, 2, and 3, and you should be good to go. Okay. If you watch, one of the tricks to make sure that you're loaded proper is watching your rewind crank as you advance those 3 frames. If you see this spinning, then you loaded proper, and you should have no question about your loading proper. Once you've loaded the film, you should set the ISO of your film into your camera so that your camera meter should work together. In this case, I had some Fuji Superior 100, so I would just set the ISO to 100, and that'll help the meter shoot the right amount of light for your camera. Modern cameras, more modern electronic cameras, will have what they call DX coding. And DX coding will have these little metal receptors in the film can area there, and it reads off of the film can itself. So on the Kodachrome 64 here, which is an old discontinued film, these are the patches that the camera will actually read and input the ISO of the film directly into the camera metering system. So it'll then meter properly. So modern cameras probably don't have to set that for, but any of the old analog cameras, you definitely have to set ISO to make sure you get proper exposure. One of the things you're going to want to make sure of is how many exposure rolls you get, so that when you get to the end of the roll, you'll see the little counter on your camera will tell you how many frames you've already shot. So in this case, it'll probably stop at around 36 to 37 pictures. Once you hit the end of the roll, and if you're taking pictures and all of a sudden the rewind crank only goes halfway and you're at like 37 pictures, 36 pictures, 37, maybe even 38, stop. Don't advance the lever anymore. If it doesn't advance, stop. You can, we've been seeing a lot lately is people ripping the film right out of the can and it gets stuck in the take-up spool. And it causes a real problem because you can't get the film out of the camera unless you're in a dark room and then you put it in a light safe container. The film cans that we use, the black little film cans that the film comes in, those are not light tight. Those will actually leak light. So if you try to put your film in that little can thinking it's going to be light safe, you better wrap it in foil or something just to make sure it's light safe. But that's one of the major problems I've been seeing. Another problem I've been seeing is people aren't pushing their rewind button to initiate the rewind. That'll unlock the take-up spool so that you can rewind the film into the can. By not pressing that, it's still locked over on this side, and people will then rip the film right off of the take-up spool out of the can. So that's not a good thing. Same problem. So once you initiate your rewind, you can rewind in the direction of the arrow on the rewind crank, and that'll tell you the proper direction to rewind the film. And you can feel the film going in, and then you'll feel when it pops off the spool and when you're all done. From there you can then take your film out and send it off to be processed. One of the things you don't want to do is once you've loaded the camera and it's ready to go, you cannot open the back. until you rewind the film back in. If by chance you were to open the back at any point in time that you haven't rewound the film, you will spoil all of the photos. It will then destroy them all. Yeah, so make sure you rewind the film before you open the back. So today we went over some of the problems that are plaguing new film shooters today. So hopefully if you follow some of these tips, you can make sure you get all of your pictures processed proper. This is Gerry with Paul's Photo and the Creative Photo Academy. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll catch you next time.